Welcome back to another edition of the Futbol Forever podcast, a podcast where we talk about the Liga MX and everything going on around Mexican football. We have a champion, ladies and gentlemen. We have a champion. Club América defeating Cruz Azul in the grand final. Congratulations, congrats to all the Americanistas, and I guess I gotta include myself in there. We're still partying. We're still on a high. And to every other team and every other fan, man, what you gotta do is what Cruz Azul is doing, man. What Cruz Azul is doing, because, I think 2 to 3 days after losing the final, what do? They get even stronger, man. They get right back to work. They announce Orbelín Pineda. He's gonna be in La Máquina next season. And they announce a bomb, man. A bombshell of a signing in Jonathan Rodriguez, the Santos striker. Very versatile player. He had a great season, a great duo, in my opinion, the best duo of the league with Julio Furch. Jonathan Rodriguez is a hell of a player, and now he will be dressed in blue for next season. I mean, that's what you got to do, man, because in a few days, in a few weeks, the Liga MX is going to start once again, and you have no time to cry, man. You have no time to be there and to think of what could have been, man. You just gotta get back to work, get better, come back stronger, and La Máquina seems to be doing that, man. They're gonna be stronger, at least on paper. We'll see if these new signings end up working out. I'm sure. I'm almost positive they will, man. They're two players that have done things well in Liga MX. Orbelín Pineda won a championship with Chivas, and Jonathan Rodriguez has won one with Santos. These players are winners. They know how to win. Hey, man, big ups to La Máquina, but we're gonna talk about them, and maybe not in a very positive light, because leg 2, similar to leg 1, they really didn't show up to play. So let's get right into it. Obviously, we're gonna talk about the Liga MX grand final, América's victory 2-0 over Cruz Azul. We're gonna talk about Diego Lainez and his almost certain departure from Las Águilas, from Club América to Europe. Ajax is the team that we're really hearing that is super interested in Dieguito Lainez, but you hear some others. I've heard Roma, I've heard Lyon as well, and then there's this article that I read today in, I think it was mediotiempo.com, where it says Fenerbahce from Turkey. Actually, they have Diego Reyes. They're proposing to América an exchange. You give us Diego Lainez, we give you Diego Reyes and some cash. So they're trying to exchange that. I don't know how good of a deal that would be for Diego Lainez. I don't know if he wants to end up going to Fenerbahce, but it's another offer for Diego Lainez, who has had a ton of attention in recent times. So anyway, let's get right into it, man. Let's get to talking about the grand final. This one was better, man. This one was better than leg 1. It wasn't spectacular. I will admit, it was not spectacular. It wasn't epic like it was in 2013, the final between these two teams. Moises Muñoz with that header sending it to overtime, and then it coming down to the wire, man, in the penalty, where América ended up winning that one. As we all know, this one wasn't as epic as that one. Neither team played fantastic. They really didn't. And it really came down to, and I hate saying this because it's super cliche, but it's true, man. In this case, it's true. It really just came down to who looked for it more, who wanted it more. And it was clear, with these two teams on the pitch, what they put on display, it was clear that Club América wanted it more. What the hell happened to Cruz Azul there, man? What happened to Cruz Azul? Did they not learn anything about leg 1? They came out and it was just a continuation of leg number 1 for La Máquina. Caixinha comes out with the two-striker formation, something that he had not really done at all this season. He tried to surprise Miguel Herrera in interviews, after the final. He admitted, he got me by surprise, but he said, hey, man, we'll just adjust. I said, Bruno, you grab one, and Emmanuel Aguilera, you grab another. There you go. So I don't know what he was trying. It was evident that he was just trying something new, but I didn't understand sitting down Roberto Alvarado, and it was very obvious when early in the second half. I think it was at the start of the second half when Roberto Alvarado was actually subbed on. You could tell that he was the one that offered the most out of any other player for La Máquina. He was the one that was trying something different. He had that one play where he dribbled past, 3-4 América defenders. He gave the ball to Mendez, but Mendez, what he's been doing basically all season, especially in the Liguilla, he's just not a good finisher, and he's just not in good form right now. Edgar Mendez, and he'll surely be replaced next year or next season. It's coming up soon here in January. I'm pretty sure he's not going to be in the starting 11 again. Mendez is just not cutting it for La Máquina, man. But anyway, I really didn't understand why El Piojo Alvarado was sat down. But hey, man, it didn't pay off. It didn't pay off for La Máquina, and they came out looking just, I don't want to say scared, but just without urgency, man. It seemed like they just wanted to take it to the penalties, where they might have won, because América has been terrible for quite some time now. With those penalty kicks, man. So maybe that was their game plan, but América had other plans and said no, sir, man. And I've been rambling about what Cruz Azul did and didn't do, but it's just big ups to América. I mean, they looked for it, they hunted this, they wanted it more. You could just tell, man. Renato Ibarra on one side, Diego Lainez on the other in the first half. Yeah, they were driving the Cruz Azul defense, a little crazy. América didn't have, neither team really had any real clear opportunities, at least that I can remember in the first half. But América was the one that showed more intensity, that went and looked for it more. Now, Cruz Azul, not a single shot on goal for the entire match. That is unacceptable, and that is something is very, very wrong. And I think a big blame has to fall on Caixinha. His game plan. We all knew Cruz Azul is a defense first team because Caixinha, that's the way he wants it. They were the best defense in the league, but eventually you have to do something more. You have to offer something more. And América was the second best defense. So América not only has a very solid defense, and they got better as the season progressed, by the way. Not only do they have the second best defense, but they had the best offense. Scoring 40-something goals for the season, maybe even more. I don't remember exactly the exact figures that América ended up with, but an insane amount of goals in just 23 games for Club América. And it's insane amount of goals, man. They were averaging over 2 goals per match. So América had the best offense. Once again, it was the best offense versus the best defense. And at least here for leg number 2, América's attacking power just shined through, and América's defense basically neutralized Cruz Azul. Again, not a single shot on goal the entire match. I think they had 3 shots total, all of them missing the mark. Just poor, extremely poor, and we should demand more from Cruz Azul. You're going to be super leader, you're going to be number 1 in the league table. When it comes time to turn it on, you gotta offer something more, man, because the Liguilla was not a good one for Cruz Azul. I think the only good match they played in the entire playoffs, in the entire Liguilla, was game 1 versus Querétaro, where they clearly, I think they beat Querétaro. What was it, 2-0? Just clearly outclassed Querétaro. Querétaro just didn't have the firepower to hurt Cruz Azul and to break down their defense. They just didn't. They go to leg 2 and it's a 1-1 draw. Same kind of thing happened with Monterrey. Not a great performance by Cruz Azul. Leg 1 of the grand finals, not a great performance by either team. It was a very, very bad match. Cruz Azul was closer to winning it because Marche had an epic save in that match, and then they also hit the crossbar late into the match. So Cruz Azul was closer to winning leg 1. But they didn't deserve it. Neither team deserved to come out of that game victorious. It was an absolutely terrible match. Absolutely terrible. So here, leg 2, Cruz Azul comes out. And like I said, it's the continuation of leg 1. You have to offer more. And us as fans, we have to ask for more from these types of teams. But, Cruz Azul is going to come back stronger next season. They definitely will, and one can hope that if they are to get to the playoffs and if they are to get to the final once again, now with this stronger roster, they have something more to offer for us fans. Because what they came out and tried to do here in leg 2 was just a continuation of leg 1. I've said this 10 times already, but it was very, very poor from La Máquina. And big ups, man. Big ups to América, because Miguel Herrera outcoached Caixinha by far. He had them, high press. Cruz Azul, Chuy Corona, definitely, in América's first goal. I think it was in the 51st minute or something like that. Corona, I don't know what he was thinking, trying to go to Marcone there. Marcone had pressure on him, but it was a mistake from both. Corona first, and then Marcone, because Marcone's first touch there before Oribe got to him was very, very bad. It was a very poor first touch for Marcone. It allows Oribe to get there, to tap the ball away from him, find Edson Alvarez, and Edson's finish, a left-footed finish, curling it onto the back of the net, was just a thing of beauty. What else can you say, man? And Edson Alvarez that deserves it, man, because the kid, got a lot of criticism for his performance in the World Cup, especially, because of that own goal. So, he kept fighting, he kept working, and it's much deserved to Edson Alvarez, who was the hero of the match with a brace, 2 goals. He hadn't scored all friggin' season, and he decides to score in the biggest stage. So happy for Edson Alvarez, a future player for the Mexican national team, and a future important player for sure. He's already a reality. He's already very good, and the kid is only 20 years old. So he's definitely one that we will more than likely see in Qatar 2022, along with Piojo Alvarado, along with Diego Lainez, along with Chucky Lozano, along with Raúl Jiménez. These guys, man, I root for them. If it was Cruz Azul that won, as an América fan, I would have hoped that it was Roberto Alvarado who was the one that hurt América, man. So if there's gonna be one player that hurts my team, I want it to be at least a young Mexican prospect, because I want these kids to have a bright future, especially in Europe. And we'll talk about Lainez and his very, very likely departure to Europe. But yeah, man, wrapping up what I was saying about Edson Alvarez, just happy that it was him, man. Just happy that it was him. What he had to say after the match, when in his interview, where he said, "Hey, man, I gotta thank life, for allowing me to score that own goal." I know it sounds kind of weird, but because without that, it made me a better player. It taught me how to get through adversity, how to push through, obviously with the help of his family, his father, especially, according to him. So, mistakes, you learn more from mistakes, man. You really do, from losses and from mistakes. And I'm happy that Edson is in a better place now, man. So back to the first goal, man. Yeah, it was a mistake by both, in my opinion, by both Corona and by Marcone. And it sucks, especially for Cruz Azul, obviously, because these are 2 men that had been crucial to their success this season. And these 2 men that have been pillars of your team and of your success make a mistake in the worst time possible, in the biggest stage, and it cost you. It cost you a goal there. I think América's second goal falls in the 89th minute, the nail in the coffin right there, once again, courtesy of Edson Alvarez, and the rest is history, man. But América was much, much better. They were better than Cruz Azul in the first half. They were much better than Cruz Azul in the second half. Caixinha tried to get his team to respond. He brought in Renteria. He obviously brought in Alvarado, who actually tried something different at least. He produced Cruz Azul's best opportunity of the match. But Renteria was just absent. And sure enough, right after the final, the guy, he's placed on the transfer list. And you wonder, like, what was Caixinha thinking that Renteria, who hasn't had a good season, he really has been absent from this Cruz Azul team. I don't know what he was expecting to get from Renteria, but that's the difference. That was the difference between this Club América team and this Cruz Azul team. the depth, man, of their squad. After leg one, you have both Colombians missing with injuries. You have Roger Martinez out with a hamstring injury, and then you have Mateus Uribe with an ankle sprain, I think it was. He wasn't 100%. He could have played. There was a possibility, but he said, no, man, I'm not 100%. Let me give my spot to someone that is 100%. And that ended up being Edson Alvarez. Now, Edson later in an interview admitted that he also played injured. So so I don't know about all the being 100% stuff. But América, was able to find the talent in their depth to replace Roger Martinez and Mateus Uribe, something that Cruz Azul just doesn't have, man. That you would look to the Cruz Azul bench, and sure there are a few options, but Renteria and and Vaca and you need more depth, and América definitely had more depth or has more depth than Cruz Azul. Now Cruz Azul, man, again, they're gonna be stronger, man. They're gonna be stronger for next season. And it's just what you want to see, what you would hope to see, if you're a Cruz Azul fan, from your team. All right, you lost. You know what? There's no time to cry about it. You've been waiting for 21 years. At this point, just get back to work. All right, investment. That's what Cruz Azul is doing, man. Dropping bombs, man. 12 million for Orbelín Pineda. In my opinion, that's too much. That's a little too much, but it is, a reflection of the market. The Liga MX market is very, very, very much inflated. Crazy amounts of prizes. Pachuca also paid 12 million for Victor Dávila. They paid to Necaxa, a top 5 player in the league, by the way. In America, I wanted him in América. I wanted Victor Dávila to be an América player, but Pachuca offered the 12 million. I think Cruz Azul and América were both after Victor Dávila, and Pachuca just offered an absurd amount of money with 12 million, and now you see Cruz Azul say, okay, I'm offering 12 million for Orbelín Pineda. That I think it's way too much. I know Chivas fans were very upset about the departure of Orbelín Pineda. But I don't think they should be very, very, very upset, man. He didn't. I mean, sure, he was important to especially to when Chivas was having all this success. Orbelín Pineda was an important piece of that puzzle. But the past couple of seasons haven't been the best for Orbelín. His numbers aren't anything spectacular with Chivas. He's a good player, definitely a good player. He's still very, very young. But you're getting 12 million, man. If you're Chivas. And you need that money because Chivas is not in the best state financially. You take him, man. Orbelín for 12 million. Yeah, you got to sell him, man. That's a lot of money. So Cruz Azul, it's insane, man. It's an insane amount of money. And they also announced Jonathan Rodriguez, which being the caliber player he is, and knowing Santos does not sell cheap. The price tag on Jonathan Rodriguez was for sure elevated. Santos is willing to sell, man. Everyone knows that. América, of all clubs would know that. Santos sells for sure, but they don't sell cheap. Santos has the best scouting, the best scouts, the best scouting department in the business. So they will find a replacement for Jonathan Rodriguez. They will. Don't you doubt them, man. They will. They sell Julio Furch, they will find a replacement for him too. They always do, man. Santos is insane. Super admirable how they do that. Now, I know for fans it's frustrating because your team is selling all the talent. You win the championship, there goes Giannini. Now there goes Jonathan Rodriguez. There goes Marche, and there goes Chucho Benitez, and there goes Woso, and there goes they've always done this, man. Santos always does this, but somehow they find a way to stay successful, and I don't know how they do it. Santos is amazing in that sense, but yeah, man, Cruz Azul, insane the amount of money they're investing, and they're not done yet. I think they're also after Nico Lodeiro, and then I think they're also after Yoshi Yotun from Orlando City. So La Máquina is not done, man. They're still after talent. It looks like they're targeting the MLS now. And we'll see, man. We'll see what they end up with. But that's what you want to see. That's what you want to see from a team that loses. They come back stronger. And that seems to be the case with La Máquina. So let's talk about Diego Lainez, man. Diego Lainez, before the start of the grand final, Univision Deportes reported that Diego Lainez's transfer to Ajax was practically a done deal, or was very, very close to being a done deal. Now, América and América's coach and their executives have admitted that, yes, there is a ton of interest from Ajax. But they've asked they've asked about Diego Lainez, and Lainez and his family have expressed the want to migrate to Europe and to play in Europe. But that there wasn't a formal offer on the table for Diego Lainez. That Ajax was very interested and that was preparing an offer, but that there wasn't a formal offer, right? And that Ajax was the only team, because we've heard Leon. We've heard Lyon from the French league. We've heard that Roma was also interested. We've heard a lot of teams. But Ajax is the one that Club América has actually admitted that has contacted them about Diego Lainez. So doing some research and reading over the past few days, I've heard that the offer from Ajax that has arrived or will arrive to Club América is for 12 million euros. 12 million euros for Diego Lainez. Now, América is not going to sell him for cheap, man. And if they do, if they accept that 12 million euro offer, if they haven't accepted it already, they're going to want to keep, obviously, a percentage of Diego Lainez's card for future sales. A lot of reports were saying América was not going to take less than $20 million for Diego Lainez, which is an absurd amount. It's crazy, but América is not. I don't think they're gonna want to sell Diego Lainez cheap, man. He's their gem. He's their gem. And if he was from Argentina, and if he was from Brazil, and if his price would be 3 times as much. You know what I mean? Ajax would have to pay 30 million, 40, 35. I don't know. But because he's from Mexico, he's a little bit of a bigger risk in their eyes. So they probably won't want to pay that much. I mean, you heard, I think it was Everton's sporting director or something like that. He was saying that paying 30 million for Chucky Lozano, who is obviously much more proven than Diego Lainez at this point, is a big risk, and that he might not be willing to take that risk. So Mexicans in Europe at least still have to earn their keep, and that's just the reality of it, unfortunately. So hey, man, Diego Lainez in Ajax, that would be something, man. That would be something, especially because Ajax is in the round of 16 in the knockout rounds of the Champions League, and there is a chance that if Diego Lainez goes to Ajax, he will see some playing time, because they're going to spend a lot of money on him. They're going to want him on the pitch, at least on the bench. You know what I mean? Maybe as an option for the manager. There's a chance that we might be seeing Diego Lainez in the knockout rounds, in the round of 16 of the Champions League, facing off against Real Madrid. Now, that would be something. Seeing him raise the Liga MX trophy in December, and then seeing him face off against Real Madrid in the Champions League in February. I mean, that would be something, man. That would be a crazy, crazy story. It's still not official though, but I'm slowly I'm wanting this more and more, man. It's hard to let go of Dieguito, but it's time, man. It's time for him to leave the nest. It's time for him to leave the nest and find his path, man. Find his true path, because he really wants this. Herrera has admitted that at times he might have lost focus because he's so focused on fulfilling his dreams to play in Europe. His family is 100% committed to making this a reality for him as well. They're all wanting him to go to Europe. And Herrera wants to retain him another year. I think América is also looking for the possibility that, yes, they make the sale now, but they keep him 6 months with América on a loan, And that's not a very, very bad idea, honestly. I kind of like that idea. América obviously doesn't want to lose a lot of their talent. There was also rumors that Edson Alvarez would be leaving or might be leaving, that he had offers from Celtic and from Celta de Vigo. América has said that is not true, and that Edson Alvarez will be staying at Club América at least for the next season. So América doesn't want to get rid of all of their talent. There was also rumors that Renato Ibarra would be going to Santos. América says he's not leaving. Renato is staying. Henry Martin is staying. Oribe Peralta is staying. So América is looking to retain their talent and then add 1 to 2 to 3 players to their roster. And they're looking for a number 9. So keeping Diego Lainez for 6 months more might be a very good idea for Club América. I mean, imagine that. Lainez stays. He's already sold to Europe, to Ajax maybe. He stays, and América adds 2 to 3 more pieces, making their roster even stronger. I mean, that would be something for sure. So anyway, man, that's pretty much all I have for you guys. Let's hope that the Diego Lainez transfer is announced, is official pretty soon, because we need this, man. We need more of our young guns in Europe. I think that's the only way that we're gonna start seeing more positive results and different results from the Mexican national team, at the World Cups. It is because our guys are out there playing against the best players, practicing with the best players, day in, day out, playing in the world's best competitions, like Eric Gutierrez and like Chucky Lozano got to do this season. We need more players in those environments, man. And Diego Lainez going to Ajax would be a great start to that. So anyway, thank you guys for listening, man. Thank you guys for watching. The next season will be starting in a few weeks, so it won't be long before you hear from me. I'll still be active on YouTube with the Chucky Lozano My Players series. Thank you guys for listening once again, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Futbol Forever out.